Hey everybody, Bill from Iowa. You know, a pellet stove is kind of like a boat. You know, the best day of your life is the day you buy a boat, and the best day of your life is the day you sell a boat. You know, this pellet stove, it's from like the mid to late 80s. This is a Quadro-Fire Mount Vernon pellet stove. You know, and those of you that have seen, you know, Bill from Iowa videos in the past know that Shane Richardson gifted this one to me. It was just sitting in his shop taking up space. He's like, hey man, you want that pellet stove? So I brought it home. It's at my shop for another year. And then we decided, okay, we're gonna bite the bullet. We're gonna, you know, cut the hole in the wall, and we're gonna hook this baby up. So we tore her down, cleaned her up, got the auger working. I think we may have replaced the auger. You know, and off we went. You know, back then, 5 or 6 years ago, you could buy a 50-pound bag of pellets for like $3. You know, fast forward to 2026, that same 50-pound bag of pellets is now $6. So back when it was $3, you could run this thing wide open and still save money on the Alliant bill, but not so much these days. So when you get one of these, you get spoiled, right? Because they run on a thermostat. You can hook these things up to remote control. If you come in, it's a little chilly in the living room, you can hit that on button, and these things will just, that's a 40,000 BTU pellet stove. That thing is designed to heat 2,000 square feet. And since they call it a Quadro-Fire, that thing will burn wood pellets, it'll burn corn, it'll burn wheat, and you can stick barley in it. So it literally will burn just about anything that the auger can dump into that firebox. And you know, I think Friday last week I walked into the house and that thing was just screaming. It was making a horrible noise. And you know, there's a fan that runs on the exhaust, and that fan, which is, I'm sure it's probably original. When I tore this thing apart this afternoon, it didn't look like anybody been in there. But, I mean, it was just screaming. Bearings were out. It was dirty. So that's what we did today. We tore the pellet stove apart, which, you know, back when it was in the shop and not hooked up to the wall was a whole lot easier. You know, but we had to pull everything out, pull the convection blower out. We got a new one sitting right here. But I didn't put it in because it literally, there's like 4 bolts. You can drop the convection blower out, replace the blower if you need to, and this one still works fine. So, but to get to that exhaust fan, you gotta pretty much tear the whole backside of this pellet stove off. So we went the entire week with no pellet stove, and we've got a very large living room that really wasn't designed for the house. So there's like one air duct that comes in off of one of the furnaces to keep this room heated, you know, and the stove got unplugged on Friday last week, and on Saturday morning at 6 o'clock I come out here, it's 51 degrees in this living room. So I had to wait for parts. I had to get my gumption up to crawl in there and tear all that apart, because I knew it was just going to be horrible. But as you guys just heard, you know, the convection blower just kicked on. Looks like the pellet stove's back in service. We've been running a little buddy heater on top of that pellet stove for the last, you know, 6 days, 7 days, just to keep the room at 60. But, you know, with this big bad bastard running, I can heat this room up to 90 if I want to. Bill from Iowa video number 2 for the weekend. I'm a bachelor this weekend. Angie's up in Cedar Rapids with Madison, and Madison's getting ready to have a baby, hopefully next week. So they're getting the house ready. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I still gotta reload wood. I still gotta clean out the fireplace. I still gotta go do chores. So she let me stay home because there's just too much to do on the Phillips family mini farm. I hope everybody's having a great weekend. It's Bill from Iowa. We'll talk to you later.